All right, then time now for our book club. Ben, take it away. What Stephen King book you got for us today?
Screw you.
The Tommy Knockers.
Screw both of you.
Sparkz, it is your book club.
Hey guys, what's up? I picked a cool Image comic, right? Is it Image?
It is.
It is Image.
It
yeah.
is.
Called Skyward. This is volume 1.
From the showrunner of Lucifer.
Mylogy Life, written by Joe Henderson, art and cover by Lee Garbett,
Who really
colorist
like
Antonio
our Pope
Fabella,
pictures.
letterer Simon Boland, art and cover by Lee Garbett, and editor Rick Lopez Jr., production by Carrie Hall.
I'm unfamiliar with Mr. Lee Garbett's work, except for this book. He's sensational.
Yes.
This is some beautiful, comic book ass art.
Oh, yeah. This is the art by itself. I was like, damn, this is some good art.
Yeah.
This is, not just good. This is great art.
Yeah, it's really good.
So
the rainstorm was awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, man, that was such a good scene.
So one day, gravity just stops being a thing.
Yep.
And
You know what the second issue starts with? Everything we knew about gravity was wrong.
yeah.
I was like, you bastards.
And yet it's awesome. And so this is a story about the first issue really is about this dad who seems to have kind of known that this phenomenon was going to happen.
He's Jor-El on Krypton.
And it's him having just had his daughter, and his wife in the moment that it happens is being pulled away.
She floats
off
away
into space. And his daughter, we pick up with her all these years later.
20 years later.
Yeah. And she has grown up in a world that never had gravity. And so this is all just natural to her. Yeah, Ben's holding out the shot of like people in space.
This is a splash page in space.
orbiting
the Earth.
planet.
Just
or
hundreds of dead people and
Yeah.
People,
planes,
planes, cars, livestock, you name it, it's up there.
Yeah.
This is a pretty, for the most part, lighthearted book, but with some seriously dramatic moments. Like, seriously, just people flying away and them crying, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. And so she works for a delivery service in
This
this
is Mirror's Edge.
no gravity world.
Mm-hmm.
And she winds up getting pulled into this whole thing where her dad believes he knows how to undo all this. She
I
doesn't
can fix
really
the
want
world.
that.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of issues with her dad because her dad doesn't even want her out in the world.
He hasn't left
He
the
has
apartment.
absolute fear and issues with the world as it is now.
Because he doesn't want to fly off like his wife did.
Meanwhile, his former business partner has entirely profited off the new world by creating boots that allow people to stay on the ground and live life as they used to.
I really like the idea of that. Like that specifically, like they really thought out this world. Like
100%.
when you get to the at the end with the last issue, when you get to the rainstorm, the streets, like it feels very like a Neo Gotham. Like you know how in Neo Gotham the poor live up in the sky,
Yeah.
and then the rich live up down below
At ground level.
At ground level, really like that might be reversed. But okay, but in this
know
book,
what you mean, yeah.
In this book, it is that way.
Yes.
The rich people live
It's-
on
The
the
rich
earth.
people live on the ground.
It's a relatively easy concept. It's like, oh, what if gravity went away? But the world building is so awesome in this
Yes.
book,
Yeah.
and it really thinks about every aspect of life.
One of my favorite things was right in issue 2 when she's some guys attempt to mug her and she pulls out a gun and they're like, "You crazy? You're not going to fire that!" And it's because firing the gun will blow her up into the air,
Yeah.
and she does do it anyway to get away from them, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Which is great because nobody uses guns
People
anymore.
don't
She's
use
like,
guns.
That's not what I'm using it for. Pop, and she flies up, and they're like, "Oh damn, she's crazy."
Yeah.
Like a flying rocket. Yeah.
I love Willa so much.
Yes.
In this book, she is. I know she's our main character, but she is just great in every aspect. Like when she's trying to flirt with Edison about walking. He's like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, walking sucks, and he's like, "I know, I have no legs, girl."
yeah.
Yeah, and Edison's like, yeah, G-Day was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
a character who has no legs.
And
yeah.
she's all talking about, like, man, I can't. I love flying around. Just the way that, she moves all across the panels is just like I believe that she's literally jumping from building to building, just flying through gravity, and it's so well done.
Oh man, in the rainstorm with the giant glob of water. I'm sorry, I was enamored with the
No, it's an
rainstorm.
awesome idea. It's a
Because
giant
it's
thing
just
of water.
a giant thing of water,
Yeah,
and she
even with-
creates this air pocket within it. Like so cool.
Yeah, or when she puts up near the end of the book when she's rescuing Edison, it says "run." And they're like, "Oh, she can't do it." And Edison's like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna do it." You don't know her like I do, man.
Yeah, doesn't know what rainstorms look like anymore, and it's collects into this bubble over the city.
This giant blob of water, and it goes
that you
through.
Can just
that you
drown
can
in.
be sucked into and drown in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the last issue. This is 1 through 5, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we all read 1 through 5. Thank
Yes.
goodness. The last issue introduces they go to a forest and they're introduced to the idea of bugs. And in the issue before, the dad's like, "Wow, that's so this place is so weird. How are the bugs? Like I always theorized the bugs would be bigger in a low G." And then the next issue, they see these gigantic dragonflies.
Yeah, there's going to be big bugs.
And I really love the idea. Again, going back to how well thought of this world is, like. Yeah, because of their short lifespans, they adapted to the world quicker than we did, and so they just grew to enormous sizes and then killed everyone in the forest.
Yes,
like Jesus, those gigantic dragonflies.
Do you know the bad guy's name, like the rich business guy?
Oh yeah, let me pull
Tom something.
Okay, Tom something. There's a scene when G-Day first happens, and he's standing inside of his apartment.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Barrow.
Barrow, thank you.
Is it Tom?
And a dude is outside of his window crying, like trying to
save me.
And he just puts his hand up and he's like, "See ya, dude."
Because he knew
He knew this
was going to happen.
No,
Yeah.
and the worst part about it, there's a dialogue box that says, "I tried to save as many people as I could."
Yeah.
You lying sack
Yeah.
of shit.
I also really like when it first happens in the first issue, and the coffee mug falls, and he's like, "Oh, I theorized this would happen,
Yeah.
but
No,
I didn't know." Oh my God!
Oh, no.
At first he's like, "Man, that was my favorite mug." Oh, hey, it happened, and then he's like, "Shit,
I know
my
it
wife."
didn't need
My wife.
The idea that he realizes that this is happening, and he didn't think it was real. Like you were absolutely right with the Jor-El thing. Jor-El thought he knew the world was going to blow up, but he didn't know when or how, or even if it was right.
And nobody would listen to him.
And nobody would listen to him. And this is the exact same thing.
Except there's the one guy, Mr. Barrow, who was like, "If this does happen, I'm gonna get rich off of it."
Yeah.
And it makes me think maybe he has something to do with it. Because if the dad knows how to fix it,
remember. Everything you thought you knew was wrong.
about gravity was wrong. There's a great line that Mr. Barrow gives when he's talking to Willa, and he's like, "Oh, it's water under the bridge." That's probably a phrase you don't understand, youngling.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! I also want to know more about we had to change how we farm.
Yeah.
Agriculture.
Yeah.
I want to know when gravity turns off, the water's gone.
Yeah. That's like floating, like factories, floating farms. Like that's
Yeah.
I'm really excited to read more about this
Yeah.
book simply for the world.
Yeah.
The,
Like,
the
it's so
world
cool.
is fascinating and so well imagined.
Yeah.
And the characters are great too. The going back to the world thing, like the way that they have the mag boots, so like the way that they'll short them out with electricity in order to make just like people who are like, "Oh no, I'm going to float away,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
or the way that he activates them and uses that. Mr. Barrow uses that to beat her up.
Yeah.
All just excellent
When he's
uses
like,
of the.
oh yeah, you're like one of those moving punchy bags we used to use.
Think
Yeah.
about all the angles that they can use the technology
Or
or,
when the girl-
utilize the elements of this world.
the girl when she has the dress and she's like, "Yeah, the magnets in the dress help keep it down."
Oh yeah, it's going to be the next hottest trend.
And I
Yeah.
really like the idea. Oh yeah, dresses. You can't wear any
No.
dresses, even with the mag boots. You can't
Yeah.
wear dresses.
Dresses,
again.
no kilts, no. Yeah, everyone has to wear pants or shorts.
Thank God.
Yeah. And then when she does in the last issue come to confront to save Edison, when she confronts Barrow and she's right outside the window in the storm and she's holding the gun and he's like, "What an idiot. Guns don't work underwater." And she creates the air bubble for the gun to work. And he's like, "She wouldn't. She would."
Yeah, Edison's like, "Oh, she would, dude. I know her."
Brings the whole rainstorm into his office.
So
Yeah.
great.
Incredible.
Can we talk about the sad ending now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
This is so
Dad.
good. This got me real good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. The dad sacrifices himself. He saves her.
Yeah.
Like he could have saved his wife.
she and
She's
Barrow
floating.
were fighting into space, and then they were both going to go up together, but he uses her to get back to Earth.
He pulls a Yondu.
Yeah. And he goes
Mary
back.
Poppins, yeah.
No, I'm saying like Barrow did.
Barrow did, okay.
Barrow bounced back down to Earth.
Yeah.
Uh,
But the dad launches up to get his daughter.
because he kicks off of her, and so she's going up. Yeah, but the dad gets up and catches her and kicks her back and sends himself into space.
Yeah.
To be with his wife.
Yeah.
Rip.
Really sad.
Yeah, it's really good.
Especially
I
because
really-
the dad had just started to like reconnect with her and like get
Yeah.
used to the world.
And there's a bit I think in the 4th issue at the end of, if you read this, like the issues, I don't know if it's collected in the trade, but he says but the writer says, like, initially when I pitched this idea, it was going to be a father-daughter road trip and they were going to do the story, and then
I could so feel it too.
once I realized there's something that needs to be missing for the story. Oh yeah, the dad shouldn't be on this trip. And so he created the story around how he was able to get over his fear and save her life.
His dying words are, "You were right. This world is beautiful. I can't wait for you to see it all." As he launches up into the sky, and then her final lines are, "I wanted to see the world. Be careful what you wish for. I don't know if I can do this, Dad, but I will if I have to for you. No pressure, right? Like that's some shit, guys.
That is some shit, but it's some good shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what issue it's on right now by any chance?
15 is the last issue.
damn, really?
Well, that's what it is on the
No,
place
yeah.
I read it.
I think it's done.
Yeah.
If I were to say, I think it's done.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen a new issue on the racks in a while.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm definitely interested in read more of this.
I'm
for sure.
just the premise of it, the world itself. Even when I was talking to my girlfriend about this, I'm like, "Yeah, this book's really good. What's it about? Gravity doesn't exist anymore." She's like, "What? Yeah, it's gone.
So
gravity's gone."
I was trying to think of like who's the closest artist I can think of who matches this. Like David Marquez, who is right now doing Batman, Superman. He did Civil War 2. He did Iron Man with Bendis.
I see it.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, clear, like facial. Like the dude draws really great faces.
Oh, yeah.
great expressions.
With a little bit of Sean Murphy flair.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they got the Sean Murphy kind of like movements going
yeah,
on.
like lanky.
I just
Yeah.
love how her hair is like floating, and I just love everything about this book. Like even though
no
it's,
detail
No.
is left unattended.
For real,
no,
like
definitely.
every panel, you're like, okay, so what would Gravity be doing right now with everything in the scene? Like, you have to think about every panel. And it's like it shows. It's cool.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so good.
And that's where I feel like the art and the writing, they have to be a true, like more so than other comic books. This
true
has to be a
collab.
true collaboration.
Yep.
So I think that's one of the strengths of this book.
Hell yeah,
I really enjoy this. It's a lot of fun.
can't wait for more.
Yeah, issue 15 came out in July, and it does seem that is the final issue for the story.
Cool.
So it's a 15-issue series, 3-volume series.
okay, right? Not too bad.
No. Yeah,
Are you gonna do all three for the book club?
Maybe for our YouTube stuff,
Okay.
where we do a deep dive, we might talk
I'd
about
love
all of
to.
Skyward. But yeah, I highly recommend this. I think it's an awesome book. I think the art's incredible. I'm really glad you guys enjoyed this.
yeah.
I picked up all the issues of this. I thought this was great.
If you're listening to this and you don't read comics, I don't know why you're listening to this part, but this is a very, very easy book for introductory comic book readers. Like
Yeah.
you can read this comic and you don't have to know anything about comics. It's very straightforward and fun.
That reminds me, we actually do have comments from the
oh yeah, we do.
from
Hell
the
yeah.
from the thing. I always do a call to action, and this is we got some comics. At Emily Van Wetter says, one of my favorite comic books. I used to be a big fan of European comic books, but this series made me discover U.S. comics. Thrilling story, endearing characters, and above all, outstanding art. Highly recommend.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
And then tom.brayfogle.comics says, such an incredible book.
Hell yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
Brayfogle. I think this is a real guy.
I mean, I would assume so.
Oh yeah, he's a writer. I know this guy. Well, I don't know him, but I know of his stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. The first time I was reading it, I'm really glad that you guys liked it. I think everybody should check it out. It's a really cool little indie comic. And
Just wait for the movie.
it's
gonna happen.
When I was at D23, I brought this with me because I had a feeling I was going to do it for the book club. So I wanted to reread it, and I passed it along to my cousin while we were sitting in the studios panel.
Is your cousin Vinny?
No, my cousin Ada.
Oh, okay.
And we were sitting
That's
in
the
there.
sequel.
We were sitting in there because we had like 30 minutes to kill, and I had comics with me, so I was pulling out another comic to read, and she was just sitting there, and I realized that because we had to put all our electronics away, she had nothing to do, and I'm like, hey, do you want to read a comic? So I passed this along to her, and she read it in that time span, and she was like, this is incredible, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I know that like comics can be like this, and I'm like, yes,
That's what I try to tell people every day.
This is it.
It's like this is the reason why we do this.
So before I read this book, it always has blurbs on the back and stuff. So it's by Charles Soule, Jeff Lemire, and Jonathan Hickman. So
Oh.
my anticipation was high, and it went through. It's good. Good book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Love it.
Very happy with this one. All right.
Nice.